Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast, batman-on-film.com. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Ramey. This is episode number 166, and let's ride. Oh, that's a long let's ride there. I'm riding. I got two people on sidecar or side horses, whatever you want to call, whatever. 221, 222, whatever it takes. Senior BOF contributors Ryan Lauer and Buddha in Pockets himself, Peter Verra. And I am Bill Ramey, right straight back from New York City, right through Jersey. Spent all day Saturday and Saturday night in New Jersey when I went out to visit Pete at his Wayne Foundation crawfish boil.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got the Cajun seal of approval.
Yeah. Lauer, you got any questions about for Pete or myself about this extravaganza?
Too many questions. I think the evidence is available online for those to see. When King Tut saw the arrival of Bill Jet Ramey, cowboy hat, cowboy shirt, TCB glasses on, stiff upper lip. He's ready to roll.
Hey, and you can't see it, but I had my Batman pendant necklace on.
Oh, okay. Good.
So I had them all covered. I had Elvis covered. I had Texas covered. I had the Cowboys covered.
That cowboy hat.
I took look.
Ridiculous.
I've kind of taken a fancy to that cowboy hat.
It was incredible. We did like a podcast recently, and he had that thing on there as soon as he opened the video, and I just couldn't hold it together.
I was giving you a hint right there. You just didn't
there you
know.
go. Oh, it's too funny.
The Bill Jet Ramey experience all in one right there in person. So
that's it.
We'll bounce back and forth really quick. Bill, how was the crawfish?
It's good. Yeah,
it's good.
Did a good job. Yeah.
Heard some things that Pete knows what he's doing for these festivals.
Had a good. It was spiced very well. Yeah.
Excellent. Announcer Rachel also think the same thing. Agreed. She enjoyed it.
Well, she's from Minnesota, so
yeah.
If it was lutefisk or hot dish, she would she would be more of an expert on that, of course. But yeah, it was good, and it wasn't just crawfish.
Oh no!
I mean, there were burgers. There were
good time.
Big Shoes ribs,
boudin,
yes, and what else? Hot dogs, Pete.
Yeah,
chips, dips.
It was all
the whole 9 yards. The whole
So it's a good time. The Wayne Foundation puts out a good spread.
Yeah. Pete, question for you then. Yeah, take everybody listening. They need to know. You're coming around the side of your house in those bushes, and there stands BOF founder, editor-in-chief, Bill Jet Ramey. What'd you think?
I was shocked because I think it was like a week or two earlier. He's just like, I can't make it. I was like, I get it. You live in Texas. It makes sense. So, this is kind of all right. And then, it was just crazy because I was just doing, I think I was just cooking the ribs and just kind of getting everything ready. I think we're just getting the crawfish out to clean them. And he comes turning the corner. I'm just like, I was like, he's here. Wow. Okay.
You can see it for yourself because Rachel videoed it. She was behind. Yeah, it was.
I was just kind of like, oh, wow. All right.
Now I went all. I did a pre party video, just setting up what was going on, and then we did it. When I got there, and then me and Pete did a video well into the party. I shall say,
Couple boot hands in.
It was a couple boot hands in for sure. And yes, so it was good time.
Pete, he said that I asked him right before you got on here. I was like, "How long did you stay?" And he stayed a good. It wasn't just like a stop in and hey, and I'm out of here. He was there for a good chunk.
Bill put in his time.
Yeah, they're good.
Did the work.
Whole work day, 8 hours.
Yeah, there was
the most
he consumed some
impressive. Most impressive, Pete. We all know that you do the work, and Bill saw the evidence of your archives of long boxes.
Oh yeah, I took Bill down the basement. He saw the comic book collection.
Yeah.
So there's a lot down there.
A little bit of awe. So it sounded great. Us bad
maybe
boys,
one day you'll come, Lauer.
No, maybe about it. One day I will.
One day, maybe one day.
I won't be. I mean, I don't know what I can. Have a Mountain Dew hat, T-shirt, and 2 hands full of Mountain Dews. Like I can't make an appearance like Bill, but best I can do is carrying a box of Fruity Pebbles.
You can
something like that.
Harbaugh T-shirt.
Okay, hey, that works. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So this was I left last Thursday, the 20th. Okay, this is the 26th of June as we record this. And we went to New York and spent 2 days there, and a lot of stuff happened.
Of course it does when you're on the road.
So I was when I had a chance, I would post stuff. I did something. We're going to talk about the Penguin trailer number 2 first here, and I was actually at the Dallas airport when that dropped, and so I was at y'all's spot, Drew Pearson's.
There you go.
Little spot there.
You go hack into their computer so you can do a quick BOF.
I had my I brought my stuff with me now just in case. So I've even updated on my phone before. If I had, I do my phone, but I had my laptop, so I took it out and was able to post the trailer on Batman on Film. So let's just start there. Pete, I'll let you begin. This is your jam here. The Penguin.
Yeah.
What do you think about trailer 2?
I think this is it. I don't need to see anything more. I think this is more than enough. I'm ready to roll here. I really want to see what the Falcons are going to do here. I feel like they're kind of backs against the wall, and Falcons versus Penguins seems like kind of what it's going to be all about. Interesting to see Maroni just kind of in jail, right? I imagine he's coming out of jail, but I don't know how much power Maroni has. It seems like he's more of a figurehead than anything else, obviously behind bars when this thing starts. I like his little apprentice there. That was cool. We saw him in a couple early still shots. We'll see what that relationship brings, but overall, I'm just ready to roll. Like Farrell looks great. I love that little waddle he has. I'm glad I get to see that more and more. I feel like I don't notice it as much in the movie as I have in these Penguin clips, but I'm ready to roll with this thing. This thing looks absolutely violent and incredible, and I can't wait to see it.
Ryan?
Same. I didn't need this because obviously we were already in, but of course when it dropped, it was like, okay, I've got to watch it. It seems more like kind of what we were expecting as far as, mob war. And I think the thing that kind of keeps coming back to me are the 2 Falcone children and Sophia, and how she's got a lot of, she got a couple lines, she got some screen time, but then I think it's got to be Alberto. He seems much more antagonist to Penguin in this, and Sophia almost seems, ally in a way. And I think that's something that could be kind of interesting to see where that plays out.
I wonder if she's trying to
she was giving him a tease.
Oz,
Yeah.
I like they do establish very clearly that it's right after the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Even mentioned Carmine said what did she say? My father's been dead a week. You know, you've
Something like
got you've got Oz riding the car, you know, with all the flooding and saying, look at this, you know, look at what this madman did, you know, referring to the Riddler blowing up the levees.
I like that line a lot, actually, because
Yeah.
I kind of like how it just Penguin almost disapproves of what Riddler did. Like they're both
Yeah.
bad guys, they're just not the same. You know, that's what's
Yeah.
cool about Gotham is kind of like, you know, he's more of a gentleman criminal, I guess. That's kind of how he sees himself. Maybe not necessarily a gentleman here, but you know, he's a madman. Like he clearly is not aligned with the Riddler. So
Yeah.
I like the difference already in the type of psychopath that Gotham City has to offer.
It was I'm interested in the Maroni angle because all we got to see is Oz visiting him in prison, you know,
Yeah.
and it seems like, you know, he's like tells him, you know, I'm calling the shots, and I don't think that Maroni is going to just, you go, okay, Oz, you're calling the shots. That's yeah, there we go, you know, whatever you
Because
want to
there's
do.
nothing he could do right now.
Yeah, yeah. So because I feel like he'll come in. I mean, they didn't bring this character in there and get that actor to play him for him just to
You got
be
you've got
in
one
prison.
scene,
Yeah,
one scene in Blackgate, and then that's it.
yeah.
No, he's probably got a couple scenes, but I don't expect Maroni to kind of make it out alive, to be honest with you. Like I think Maroni meets his end by series end.
In the Penguin? Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
we got hey, we got to have
I'm
him
just speculating.
scar Harvey Dent at some point, right?
Yeah, we got to play it up exactly. Everything's got to be exactly to the T.
Yeah,
Look,
but
I'm just
yeah,
happy that this is more Batman than most of the other things that have been put out there recently. You know, we all know how upset I am with Batman in print right now.
I really like and was struck, and I was struck by this. The first trailer is how I don't think we've had a sequel. This is kind of sort of the way you want to look at it.
It's
Sequel to
for
the
me, it's a
Batman.
sequel.
Yeah. But I mean, the aesthetic, I mean, Gotham, this is what we saw in the Batman, you know, this is the same.
Yeah.
There's just the transition, the city, it's the same thing. You know, I mean, one, if you want to have a knock on the Dark Knight trilogy, is that the look of each film was a little different, you know. Batman, the Gotham and just the feel of Batman Returns was different than 89. And of course, I guess the two that were the most similar was Forever and Batman and Robin. But this one is, I mean, this is the world of the Batman, of Matt Reeves, the Batman. And I'm with y'all. I mean, I'm good. I'm ready.
Again,
Let's
what more do
ride.
you
Let's
want?
ride.
What more
Let's
do you want
ride.
as a Batman fan? Like to
Let's
be
ride.
honest,
Yeah.
really, this is just Penguin spinoff series. Like, yes, it's automatic.
Well, if he doesn't have like little penguins walking next to him, then what are we doing?
With missiles, gotta
Yeah,
have the
that's right.
missiles. Yeah.
Well,
Well, hey,
it's funny.
don't be.
I
Hey, that's fine.
I actually recorded a podcast that I'll never be released because we had a bad recording. But I mentioned this in that podcast. Like this, honestly, this is going to go down against Meredith as the greatest. Like as probably the most faithful interpretation because Meredith's Penguin is very faithful of the time,
Yes,
right?
it
Like
is. Yes. Yeah.
in that's just the way it is. That Penguin is that Penguin in print, and that's you can't deny that. Like Meredith's Penguin's very definitive for what it was, and then you look at this and you're like, this is that no man's land modern era Penguin, nightclub behind the scenes kind of gun runner type guy. And I'm like, man, to watch this unfold as a Batman fan and as a Penguin fan is very special because it's a deep dive into a villain that probably hasn't had his due in a very long time, and that includes that horrible TV show on Fox that was just putrid and should be erased from memory.
That's the one that the Penguin was Barnabas Collins from Dark Shadows, right?
I don't
So,
even I don't even know
Yes.
what that means.
Yep, I got you.
You got me,
So-
Lyle?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got you.
Okay, all right. But
Spot
yeah,
on.
like I'm ready for this, man. I'm so pumped. And again, like what we've gotten, prequel novel, Riddler Year One, movie, TV show, second film. Like I'm like, damn, that's a full plate.
Let me tell you
That's
what I
really cool.
did. Speaking of all that, I brought Riddler Year One and I brought the prequel novel on the plane with me
Mhm.
and read both. I read the prequel novel first and then the Riddler Year One. That's the first time I read the Riddler Year One all the way through. I read
In a
it,
sitting.
as each one dropped, I bought the hardcover, but I hadn't
I have the
read
hardcover
it.
in order.
And it's really, I mean, it's cool because that world is there's a it just brings out makes the world a little bit bigger and more real. I don't know if that's the way to describe it, but gives it some
I
depth.
just like having a little bit more information. Like in the prequel novel, I really enjoyed all the aspects of Bruce developing his personality as well as him building the car and him dealing with police, and then Edward just kind of making his way through. Like I just kind of like sat back and really just enjoyed the ride. And it's a simple read. Like it took me like maybe like 2 shifts at work to read it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
On my breaks, which is I love that stupid book. I think it's
Hey,
great.
When you look, when the Penguin's done, all 8 episodes, and we're waiting for part 2.
I hope something comes out in between like that.
That's all you. Hey, all you gotta do is you read the novel, you read Penguin Year One, you read the Riddler Year One, you can watch the Penguin. I mean, that's 8 hours plus
Yeah,
of
that's the thing. It's 8 hours.
world. You watch the Batman, of course, before the Penguin, and then and then we get the movie. So we get the part 2.
And then hopefully
go.
there's something like another novel or another comic book that comes in between. Like I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying that stuff.
I am. We'll wrap up this part of the episode, but what do you think? I'm trying to make prediction of what happens or how it ends, but I wonder how it leads into the Batman part 2. You know what I mean? We know how the Batman leads into this, but how does this lead into the Batman? Which Reeves said, yeah.
I'm curious to see if maybe the villain of the next film is revealed somewhere in this show. I don't know how deep they're going to go. Or how self-contained it'll be. Maybe it's just about Penguin, his rise to power, setting him up for the next movie. Like there's so many variables. It's just that's why you kind of like anticipate it, because I'm like, I don't know what he's going to do. I kind of have a vague idea of like mobsters and gang activity and a couple shootouts and drive-bys, but like maybe an assassination, but like that's all vague stuff, right?
I'm curious too, because I don't, the Batman didn't end in a cliffhanger when it comes to Penguin's character. He's just like standing there looking out a window,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean like, oh, you didn't end the story. I need to, it wasn't just like a cliffhanger. And I don't expect that for the Penguin, to where there to be like a cliffhanger of like, what happens next? I almost envision, it's something along the lines of almost like Penguin sitting at the table in the Iceberg Lounge, like the satisfaction, like he's reached that hierarchy that he wants to be. Like that is, I feel like that's the point of the Penguin.
He definitely like it ends with him on top, without a doubt.
Something like that, to establish that he's at Falcone level basically. And that's the lead into part 2, where like what we're accustomed to now since the 90s of Penguin's the one who knows what's coming in and leaving Gotham, and he knows what criminals, like, and Batman checking in with him, much like he did in part 1, just maybe more so. But
yeah,
I don't know, I'm not writing it in my head either.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that like people are not going to have to see the Penguin to go watch the Batman part 2 and enjoy it,
But they better.
But yeah, but it just adds more to it
Mm-hmm.
if you have seen it, I would think. Because I mean, it would. I mean, let's be honest. Not everybody who's going to go watch the Batman Part 2 is going to watch the Penguin. But I don't think, and I agree. I don't think that there's a cliffhanger and there's stuff set up for Part 2 that you have to see the Penguin to get. So,
Are you expecting by the end of this series, Colin Farrell's Penguin being your favorite live action Penguin, if he isn't already?
me
Yes.
or Pete?
Both of you.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he already is.
Okay.
Well, I gotta give it to Burgess Meredith still, I guess, right now.
For
But,
now.
I mean, look, we said it before. He was great in the Batman.
He's a scene stealer.
And it felt like the Penguin was in the whole damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because he showed up throughout, but even though he didn't have, Colin Farrell said, "Oh, he was only on set so many days and only had this much screen time," but it felt like he was in the whole movie,
He was a proprietor.
Yeah. The only thing I was missing about this trailer 2 is I wanted to hear more about Rex Calabrese.
We'll hear a little bit more about old Rexy.
Yeah. Truma parade. A freaking parade. Get a parade.
True one. A true one.
All right. So the Penguin comes out September at some point. As we suspected all along. It'll premiere and end before the end of this year. So, but before that, we have some more Batman coming, and that is the animated Batman Caped Crusader, which will commence August 1st on Prime, Amazon Prime. Anybody here excited for that?
Yes.
I am. There was one
Yes.
name that got me extra excited, actually. There's one name on that list that got me really excited.
Mini Driver.
Okay.
No, it was actually Christina
Oh.
Ricci. I've had a crush on Christina Ricci my entire life. So I was like, yes.
We were kids of the 90s.
What, since
Yeah.
she was in Addams Family?
Adam's Family, that darn cat. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
other ridiculous movie she did when she was just owning movie theaters in my early days.
She's
yeah.
actually she's in Wednesday, the
Mhm.
new Addams
Is she really?
Family.
Okay.
That's a good.
Let's
That
check-
was a
Oh,
good.
you should
check it
watch
out.
that, Pete. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I'm a
it's
fan
really
of
good.
of the films and everything and Adam's Family
Yeah.
in general. But this thing looks really impressive. I'm excited, mostly because the design won me over. I've seen stills. I think what Ryan, what was that? Was it Vanity Fair? Was who did the deep dive?
Yeah.
They did a
Yeah.
great article. They had some stills in there. No purple gloves, which is great. Lots of no round ears, so he doesn't look weird. Like this is the type of 30s Batman I can get into. I think this is a little bit more up my alley than First Night was.
Well, speaking of the cast, we know we have. Well, you mentioned Christina Ricci. She is Selena Kyle, Catwoman.
Mhm.
Diedrich Bader, who voiced Batman in Batman,
Your show.
The Brave and the Bold, is Harvey Dent Two-Face. And Hamish Linklater is Bruce Wayne, the Batman. Jamie
That's a hell of a
Chung,
name.
Harleen Quinzel, Harley Quinn. Those are the ones who were, and then the others they mentioned, part of the cast are not. We don't get their roles. So, but amongst them, Minnie Driver, Eric Morgan Stewart, Michelle C. Bonilla, Crystal Joy Brown. We know John DiMaggio.
That's right.
Yeah, we know that guy.
Great Joker
He's in-
himself.
Yeah. McKenna and John DiMaggio is, the greatest Aquaman there ever was, if you want to count animated versions. It's outrageous. McKenna Grace, Jason Watkins, Paul Scheer, Reed Scott, Gary Anthony Williams, Dan Donahue, Haley Joel Osment from that's the kid from
That's right. He sees dead people.
what's
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, yes. Toby Stevens, who everyone says is probably Alfred, amongst others. Speaking of Alfred, you got a shot of him in the Vanity Fair
I think
article.
Alfred cooks really well.
Yeah,
Looks like
they
he's
go. It
really
looks.
good.
It looks like they're going that Alfred's original incarnation
Yeah.
was not the uber thin, tall, uber thin Alfred as we know today. He was a little bigger, and he was Alfred Beagle originally. But anyway, look, I mean, that's Alfred. I mean, you saw him. And you go,
No,
yeah, that's
I know
Alfred.
exactly who it is.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. I'm just happy. Again, I'm happy Alfred's back. I'm happy Alfred's in the mix. So
And
again,
they gave
this
us.
feels like Batman to me.
Let's see. They Catwoman, Two-Face, Gentleman Ghost, Clayface. Who am I missing? Who are listed as villains? Firebug,
Natalia Knight,
yeah,
and then it does say the penguin. I forget if you just said the penguin. Yeah, they did a cool thing at the end of that where they listed like on the Caped Crusader symbol of the villains showing up. Which not saying that there won't be more, not or anything like that, but I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, that was grab a screenshot and look and see a few of them. Gentlemen Ghost.
Any predictions of who these other folks are voicing?
When it comes to voice actors, they're so versatile. A lot of these, we mentioned John DiMaggio. I mean, he voices anyone from Aquaman to Joker. Like his Joker in Under the Red Hood is phenomenal. I wouldn't even begin to know where to guess.
I mean, I'm just saying Minnie Driver, Natalia Knight. That's my only guess because I think you can try to link up of a female actress or voice actor and a female character. But as far as I know, maybe she's Gentleman Ghost. I don't know.
Yeah,
there you
go. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. Well, I love the vibe, that Vanity Fair article that gives the vibe of this whole thing. And it's a great deep dive of BOF fan James Tucker and Bruce Timm. It's not just like a Vanity Fair is telling us about whatever. It's an actual, question and answer with them, more insight directly from them on their approach to the show, what they wanted to accomplish, as well as a few, character descriptions as well. And, a big one that stands out the most to me is their approach to Harvey Dent in this one. And as we're so accustomed to, we know the character as being like, an Apollo, he's great. And then turns into Two-Face. Whereas here he's a corrupt DA. And it's like, okay, that's something different. Curious how he can go from bad to worse as opposed to good to bad, and then how Batman deals with that, because usually, Dent's an ally of Batman. So there's some great drama there of their relationship and Batman's struggle of like, they're still good in Harvey or something. Whereas here it's like, no, he's almost like the a-hole Dent from Beware the Batman. And that's the starting point. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. In the Vanity Fair article, Tim mentioned he wanted to go darker than he could with BTAS. So instantly, like, my mind goes to, well, what is the darkest thing in, let's say, the BTAS universe that includes Unlimited and Batman Beyond? And instantly I go to the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker movie. And maybe if it's along the lines of that, that's pretty interesting. That's more of a mature audience type of deal. What really actually gets me excited is having Mr. Tucker involved, because when I think of James Tucker, I mostly think of kind of maybe some later Justice League United,
Unlimited.
JLU, Unlimited, thank you. Unlimited, and obviously Brave and the Bold. So to see this more of a noir kind of shadowy Batman coming from James Tucker, that's really impressive, because it's, he's a creative mind, and I kind of want to see him work within these guidelines. And I think that's really where we can expect something cool. Like, it's the brain trust involved, and obviously the boss is involved, Mr. Reeves, the boss of Batman. Don't get that twisted, Kowalski. Like I'm just excited for everyone involved in here because it just seems like it's a pretty good group. I just don't want to, every once in a while you worry about too many cooks in the kitchen, but I don't know if that's a problem. Tim and Tucker have worked well together before, and it doesn't seem like many people have issues with Reeves and company. We'll see what J.J. Abrams brings to the table, but
it
I'm really
makes
excited
me,
in general.
I mean, to that point, it makes me wonder, especially, reading that Vanity Fair article of, Tim and Tucker, their hands are all over this whole thing of like
Yeah.
what involvement, as opposed to just names only, are Abrams and Reeves, Curious
Yeah.
what they did with this.
If I had to guess, I think Matt Reeves probably has a little more to do with it than J.J. Abrams.
Just like helping develop ideas and giving
Yeah,
feedback
yeah.
on the looks and stuff. Maybe story. He's very
Well,
story,
certainly,
obviously.
He's the
I
boss.
mean,
He's
That's
a
all that
writer.
matters.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence that we're getting the original version of Clayface in this, and Matt Reeves
Yeah.
is involved, and the
Do you guys think
Clayface
that
rumors about the Batman. Hey, y'all, it's Bill Ramey, founder of Batman on Film. Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor.
do you guys think it's going to be serialized, the 10 episodes, or will each one kind of stand on its own?
That's an interesting question.
I think we won't know until we see a trailer.
Yeah.
But if you make a guess, I want an answer now. For some reason,
Maybe
I lean that it's going to be serialized,
probably like Beware the
lightly
Batman.
connected,
Which
I felt was a little serialized.
Yeah.
If I watch that show, I want to start from episode 1.
I would think it's going to be more of a ongoing story, where you can watch an episode and enjoy it, but if you watch the entire series, you're really going to enjoy it all together as a collection. I mean, I think Beware the Batman is a good example.
Yeah.
Of what
Especially
what I'm
the back
thinking
half.
it's going to be. Yeah. And I was going to add, I mean, you see Batman's Batman. Looks like Batman. I like the.
Thank God. Thank God. I read Batman 148. I swear I thought I was reading Batman and Robin. I'm like, what is going on?
There's no Zer, there's no robots, there's no purple gloves for Pete. Batman flat out looks like Batman.
There's not
Alfred's
Batman.
back.
Yeah, Batman's not saying son and family
Oh my God.
475 times throughout
my
the story. Yeah.
And look at that. And like you already said, Pete, he's standing there next to Alfred, so Alfred's alive and kicking.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, thank God.
Alfred.
It's just,
he's got two hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got two hands.
He doesn't have the bionic hand, Steve Austin
God.
style.
I hope. I really hope someone listens to this.
It is.
Really
I like the fact they are doing. I mean, you would expect them to do some different things and not just rehash what we've seen before. I mean, Harley Quinn is a lot different. What do y'all? Any thoughts about the aesthetic and how they describe her?
The aesthetic was different for sure, but Bill, I think you and I had mentioned on here before that you have one of the character's co-creators in charge of this interpretation of her.
Yeah.
And it's not a complete deviation from what we know.
He did Batman
it's
and Harley Quinn.
Different.
I'm not giving him a pass on that. He's done some bonkers things. Killing Joke, like every once in a while, Bruce Timm throws a and Killing Joke. You can't get mad because Bruce and Babs are together in B-Test. So like, I don't want to hear that either. But I'm just saying, every once in a while, he does something that people freak out about. He's got a track record now, doing little weird things every once in a while. So
that's okay.
I'm not saying
it's bad.
I'm all on board of like he gets a free pass on this. I just feel like I'm a little bit more. It's I don't know. I'm open to
Yes.
this.
Yeah, there you
Nothing
go.
really deterred me to where like this is so
No.
far off. I don't like this.
It's
Yeah.
Now I leave it open
apparently
to have a, I'll leave it open. I'll judge
I'm
it what I see.
assuming that she predates the entry of the Joker into this world.
Mhm.
She's with I thought she was with Montoya on this. Is what that
Yeah.
article
They have a thing. There's no Ivy. It's
described.
Montoya.
They have a thing, and
Yeah.
Montoya doesn't know about her Harley Quinn
Which
persona.
is it's just fun. I like that. I'm glad Montoya's getting. I'm liking again Batman things and Batman content, not other heroes. Like I'm glad Montoya's involved in this. Like,
Montoya's a kind of a mainstay
Yeah.
name. She's one that
oh yeah, no, totally.
people know
Ever
from
since
GCPD.
BCAT, she's made a huge leap. I mean,
Yeah,
and even obviously getting into Birds of Prey and everything. So again, just
it's no Martinez, but
no,
Yeah,
no, well,
it's fine.
Again,
No.
it's focused. It's Batman. It's focused Batman. That's literally what this is. Batman characters doing Batman things.
Bill, you said
go ahead.
Sorry, you said brought up Harley Quinn. I mean, we already talked about Harvey Dent. I think Catwoman seems like almost like the most familiar of what we know, except they said that we wanted Selena Kyle to be not too dark and serious, as most Catwomans have been for the last 20 years or so. We wanted her to be not ditzy, but just not serious. And Tucker said flighty. Pete, you've been reading Catwoman comics nonstop. Do you feel like she's been too dark and serious? Do you think that's what they're talking about? Or you just think like live action Catwoman?
I think if you again going back to that Vanity Fair article, they show an image of Catwoman. It's purple dress Catwoman. So obviously
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not my particular take on Catwoman, but I understand the importance of what that Catwoman is. And when you know the history of that Catwoman in print, what he says makes sense.
Gotcha.
But I still expect her to be the thief, right? Like
Yeah.
I just maybe I maybe expect her to be a little bit more romantic. Flirty, still Catwoman, Batman flirty, but I expect her, I don't know. I kind of expect a little bit of an older school Catwoman vibe to this.
Really
Maybe not
lean
necessarily
into
the mob oriented type thing, but kind of just out there.
Femme fatale of 40s
Yeah.
noir, since they're
That's kind of
so
the thing
noir
I'm getting,
focused.
Yeah.
Do we get a Batmobile in this? Or is
I
it
think
like
he's more of a motorcycle guy right here now.
or is
That
it
makes sense.
sedan? Like back, the original. I've got it.
Okay.
I got the Hot Wheels, the first Batmobile, the red.
I mean, me personally, I'm not a fan of Big
sedan.
Red, but
Yeah.
Big Red makes an appearance. That's all right with me.
Yeah.
I'm sure by season's end, we'll see some sort of bubble Batmobile.
Well, it's actually set in the 40s, early 40s. So maybe we get that 1940s Batmobile with the big fin on the back and the bat head, the huge bat head hammer looking.
Well, like the
logo.
battering ram.
Yeah.
When they did even like Legends of the Dark Knight title, when they did Matt Wagner's Dark Moon Rising and stuff, like more contemporary stories that are taking place, back to his early days or whatever, they have what do you want to say? An act of teasing about a Batmobile, and then towards the end of that story, like Bruce busts out the Batmobile. That I see that would be really cool if there are mentions of, you see a tarp in the Batcave and you see a wheel and it's teased, and then at some point, episode 8 or 9, he busts out the Batmobile. That'd be freaking cool. I think it would be cool if we don't know when, we don't get an image of it, we just see it. But granted, if everything's dropping it on day one, then I guess
Is that how this is
find
going to
out.
work? Is that's an Amazon thing? They just drop a whole season.
For this, I've seen it.
Because I've like the only
They're
Amazon
dropping
thing
it.
I've honestly watched.
That's what
is
they've
Invincible,
said.
and I
They're
watched
going
it
to
late.
put all episodes out together.
When did we talk about when we got the August 1st announcement, and there were 3 of the trades I think posted stuff about it, and it might have been Variety that said all 10 were dropping on August 1st.
Okay.
And then I can't remember where else I've seen the all 10 dropping August 1st.
All right.
So I guess we'll find out for sure on August 1st. But Pete, are you one that will milk it if all are available, or will you try and watch as many as you can?
I will. I'll watch as many as I can until I.
Yeah. Same.
I want to say really like I watched Mrs. Maisel on Prime, and that was weekly.
Weekly.
Yeah,
That's that Lois Lane show, right?
That's
pretty
right.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pete, you watched Incredible or
Invincible.
Invincible, right? Did
Yeah.
you watch it as it came out? Was it
No,
weekly
I
release?
watched. I watched it well
Okay.
after it came out, so it was already there. That's why I had no
Okay.
idea what Netflix
That was
does.
going to be my comparison on how they dropped it, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
just know I saw Variety had it as that. Nobody else contradicted and said it's a weekly release. I don't think the others at the time mentioned anything about the release other than drops August 1st was kind of their information. So I'm just kind of going with what I read.
Well, we haven't heard any of the characters, any of the actors as their character yet, except for Hamish Linklater as
That's
the
right.
Batman from the teaser, the voice cast teaser trailer. Any thoughts about that? I mean,
Makes
I
me forget
knew
about
when
Jensen Ackles. I'll tell you that. That's a good Batman voice.
when I
Makes you
heard
what?
it, when I heard him, when it starts, and you have the narrator, I went, "Oh, this is the dude playing Batman in the Batman voice." I did like, he went through them all kind of in reverse order, and Christina Ricci, and I am Hamish Linklater, and I am Batman. So you got I'm Batman in there.
I was all for it.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. I want to see it. I'm really excited for the show.
I guess as we were recording this, the trailer drops today. It is not dropped as of yet. So that's why, if you're wondering why we're not talking about the trailer, so I probably get some samples from some of the other characters and what they sound like.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Harley Quinn, what her,
I like surprises. I mean, sometimes I feel like these things show too much. When they have to sell it to an audience. The problem I find in myself is you've got me sold. You had me sold before this thing was made, so I'm ready and I'm willing to give it a shot.
Well, we were all sold, but they got to sell it on the.
No, I get it. That's
general
it's
public.
It's a weird conflict to have as a fan because I'm like, okay, cool, I can't wait to see this, but don't overshow it for me. But I'm ready to go here, but I get what they need to do, so I'm kind of like, two trailers and done. Like I'm kind of like this one teaser trailer and whatever they're going to show me, and I'm good for now. Like I don't need any more, but I get what they got to do. But I may try to stay away from some stuff just because I kind of want to enjoy this. There's been a lot of bad Batman content out there, and this stuff feels special. So I kind of want to soak it all in and enjoy it. And I just kind of want to have fun and have some surprises along the way.
My hope, so therefore that's kind of making an impression on my prediction, but I'm like expecting like a, minute 15, maybe like teaser trailer or something, for it. Hopefully not some like 2.5 minute or whatever. Cause yes, I want to see it, but I want to see like the series as a whole. And like Pete's already said, we're already sold. So how much do we need to see, to be more sold? We're already there, but I mean, what was it, like 2 years ago? My poor amateur Photoshop Prime van with Caped Crusader on the side. I hope that Amazon really leans into it and puts, like Caped, like they're promoting it on their Prime boxes or something like that. I don't know if they're
they
allowed
do
to.
that.
I hope that they do,
Yeah.
because then I'll order more stuff from Prime just to keep the boxes.
I order enough from Prime.
Yeah.
Sorry. Then you can save me some, Pete. But then hopefully down the line, because all of us need more toys, that they do, hopefully this thing, I don't know how they'll measure its success, but hopefully it's a hit, it's good, and that they do strike a
figures out.
strike a line of toys, of shirts,
I wonder,
of poster or something.
I would hope there would be some sort of merchandise of collectibles
Yep.
collectibles.
Yes.
Definitely McFarlane's. I don't know if you're going to get like Spin
with
Master
this.
kid toys because I mean it's not necessarily a kid show, right? So maybe they won't lean that
Yeah.
way. But there's no. I mean, if you give McFarlane an opportunity to make a new Batman, he will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go back to Harley. I'm pretty sure she will not have that Brooklyn / New York overdone accent.
I wonder. You know, who
Like
knows? We won't know yet.
you know, well, she's Asian. Not to say an Asian folks can have a New York accent, but I wonder what they just. I'm interested in what they go with here.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and she is still psychiatrist and does the bad Harley thing at night. So without the Joker, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. The route they go
bring
here.
it on.
Yeah.
And again, the people involved, I trust them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get a taste of the atmosphere, but I'm of course villains are always going to be a thing for us, and all we know is just who they said like villain wise is going to be in this, and there is something that's fun that it isn't, right out the gate of, hey, it's Batman and Joker. Just like, the history of the show or the history of the comics, Joker was so early on. There is Catwoman, but there's more. It's not just good guy versus bad guy with Catwoman. Bringing in those other ones and Clayface and Gentleman Ghost. It's like, okay, this is cool that it is a little, as much as, Joker's my favorite Batman villain, my favorite villain of anything. But,
I thought it was Uxas.
It's not my bad. Uxas is my. You think Uxas is going to show up in this? They're just keeping he's the main bad.
I think he's going to get beamed down from
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
I'm glad.
He's going to turn to brimstone.
Yeah.
But if it is like, voicing the John DiMaggio is voicing the Joker and it's Batman versus Joker, not that we would be like sad about that, but it's like, oh, okay. It would feel like, oh, another Batman versus Joker, because it does kind of feel like there's a lot of that.
Firebug stands out. Like, is that Firefly?
Exactly.
Is that Firefly's sidekick? Like, I don't know what's
Gentleman
going on.
Ghost stands out because it's like, okay, that's cool. That's different. And then when we saw Clayface and we saw the version of this Clayface, like, all right, that's freaking cool. It's different.
Well, how do they do Gentleman Ghost? Like, when we think of Reeves Batman, we're always thinking, like,
If you've watched Batman Scooby-Doo crossovers, you know how they're gonna do Gentleman Ghost.
Yeah.
It better be red herring.
There you go.
Well, so didn't tell me what you thought of Hamish later is his little snippet we got.
That tease. Pete thinks like it's better than Jensen Ackles. I like Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely something that Jensen Ackles does, and what we heard in that little snippet that sounds like that made me think of Jensen Ackles, but it's just like the character of Bruce Wayne. So like hitting that note of Bruce Wayne / Batman. So that little snippet that we got, it sounded good. Let's hear him let's hear him in the trailer as he's suited up as Batman, and then if we get a Bruce voice too, then that'll be interesting because they're going something different with Bruce. Well, I can't say totally different because it's something that we all know and have experienced in some form of Bruce Wayne. But as far as like animated wise, I think it'll be different.
Well, he said that in the Vanity Fair article. Like he's kind of focusing on his Bruce Wayne a little bit more. He wants to really give a good portrayal of Bruce Wayne animated, and he kind of mentioned like it hasn't really been done before. And I'm kind of curious to see what that means because I still think Tim and company did a good job in BTAS with their Bruce Wayne, but we'll see. That part caught me because it's like you get. It's when you focus a little bit more on B-dubs, I think things turn out a little bit better.
And that's what Tim said in the auditioning, there were a lot of great Batmans, but not many good. Not many good. Me speak good. Not many that did a good Bruce Wayne. And that this guy pretty like nailed both.
It's they did mention in the article that with Batman Bruce Wayne that they're going with the Bruce Wayne is the mask. Totally.
Which
Batman
I think we're used to by now, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the new normal for Batman and Bruce Wayne, which I'm not against.
I mean, yeah, I would. Well, you've got like the Dark Knight trilogy take where there are three different versions of Bruce. There's Batman, there's Bruce that only Alfred and Rachel knew, and then there was public Bruce Wayne. In the Batman, we just got Batman. That's all he is. You know, he's not.
Yeah.
Your favorite BVS?
Yet.
I thought Affleck had a little bit of the three too. Like we just saw the little bit at the Luthor party where he was like, "Pretty girl, bad habit," you know, sort of that a little bit, which was different. So I mean, that's just to highlight what we've seen since Dark Knight trilogy. I feel like that is the new normal of the three versions. Yeah. But it's not a complaint.
You've seen 89 too. Like it's like, oh, which one of these Bruce Wayne? Oh, I don't know. Like, okay, you're not gonna flash your Bruce Wayne to Blondie. That's interesting. You know, and then it kind of like Forever wasn't really right. Like, and then I'm just trying to think. You know,
Forever. I mean, he was like on gossip magazines and Time magazine.
Gossip Girl was a big deal. His and then by the time Batman and Robin rolls around, it's like his kind of. It's a little bit more tamed down than that, but it's like he's still all over the magazines with Ellie McPherson. So, you know, we've seen him out and about in, you know, these social parties. I mean, Batman Forever, right? They crashed the party. He's out there. You know, it's the dueling millionaires. So, we've gotten a lot of Bruce Waynes, at least out there, but in animated form, I'd be down for more. You know, kind of get more into what's going on in his head there.
Well, we're going to find out August 1st. I guess if they drop them all at once, I got to figure out how I'm going to review these written reviews.
How are you going to do if they're all down at once? You gonna blast through them, or are you gonna milk it?
Watching wise, I'm going to rip through them.
This is exactly how you used to review Gotham, right? You should just binge watch the whole season at once.
No. I've put that out of, you know, that's not.
Is that what you did for Titans season 2?
No. I guess, let's make an executive decision. Let's make a group decision.
All right.
Are we going to should I just review the series as a whole, or watch an episode and review it? It's so tough. I mean, they're all out. It'd make it a lot easier if they went out weekly, but we'll figure it out. And then we got podcasts to do. We got to figure that out too.
Yeah. So tell Haas to stop hating on Xbox on Twitter and join me on a podcast.
What are you talking about?
Haas is an Xbox hater. That's it. He won't play Xbox Live with me, and I'm just very upset about it.
We know why Mike is an Xbox hater too. So
yeah, well, that's why the Mavs lost.
Yeah, because of Xbox. Yeah, that was it. All right. Any final words on?
I guess we didn't come up to an executive decision, did we?
The executive decision is we put it off to later.
Executive committee decision. I have got to figure this out.
We'll have Rachel figure it out.
There you go.
Well, okay. Well, she's figuring everything else out around here. Let's add something more to her plate. All right. So we got the Penguin coming in September, and then basically a month from now, y'all, we've got Batman Cape Crusader. A little poster that Matt Reeves dropped. Did you get a Batman 89 vibe? Axis Chemicals?
A little bit. I like how he's kind of dangling.
Yeah,
I enjoy that. That's top quality Batman content. You ask me. That's a poster.
I can neither confirm or deny that I already have a poster of that in my possession.
I'll confirm it. He does.
I just got to figure out where in the hell I'm going to put it.
In the living room, obviously, right above the TV.
Sure. Yeah. That'll go
Just
over real
take
well.
that picture of Jake you got
Yeah.
over there.
You can tell announcer Rachel, you know what? I'll lighten your load a little bit. I'll decide where we're gonna put this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cape
I'm
Crusader
gonna-
poster
I'm taking over.
right here in the living room.
Oh, Jake. Speaking of Jake, Jake got hurt doing his at jujitsu practice and has a herniated disc in his neck.
No way. Poor kid.
He had to go to we were flying in and got a message. He was on his way to the emergency room. So he
You
shut
guys leave the
down.
state for a couple days. Kid breaks himself.
Yeah, everything went to hell. Well, we left here, you know.
Has he requested any gumbo to help him feel better?
He don't eat it. Can you believe that?
Do you eat boudin?
That
No.
sounds like he's got to move out.
What?
No.
Hold on. No gumbo, no boudin.
He'll
He's
eat
not
some
yours.
gumbo.
This is your
This
child.
can't be your
Oh,
kid.
yeah. Wow. You know what? He
What's
must have
going on
got.
here?
I got to do one of those ancestry DNA kits on him. And he
Yeah.
must have got all of.
If this was the
Rachel's.
'90s, you guys could go on Springer.
He must have got all the Minnesota DNA. You know,
That's it. He eats hot
You know,
dish.
Hot Dish and Lutefisk.
Nah.
That's,
All right.
I don't know.
that's it.
I'll eat it all.
That boudin.
And
I've
food
had
without
boudin,
spice.
gumbo, and hot dish, and all good.
Yeah. All right, let's finish up here.
I love
Um,
Chicago ribs, by the way. Those are my favorite.
That's what you learn to cook them from the best. Lowry, you want to plug anything?
Would love to. Check out my latest episode of the Batman Book Club, which Bill has generously posted on Batman on Film. Able to listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. Where me and Ryan Haas talk the official movie novelization of Batman '89.
fantastic.
Oh, awesome. All right, Pete, let's go. Let's ride.
You can follow me on social media at Pete Illustrated. You can follow a podcast I do with the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman, who actually is in the cast of the Cape Crusader, but it's a secret, so hasn't been announced.
Spoiler alert.
Straight out of Gotham at straight_O_G. I have a Spider-Man podcast at Spidey Coalition, and you can follow me on BatmanOnFilm.com and Batman YouTube. And I have a review of Detective Comics that is everyone's dying to read, coming out later today because it's going to be so overwhelmingly positive. Sneak peek.
Is Holzman voicing Natalia Knight in Cape Crusader?
There you go.
Uxas, actually, Uxas.
Damn. Okay.
That was the
All right.
that was
Yeah.
secret. Uxas is in the show, and he's going to be voiced by Holzman.
Man, I don't know if you
Where
have
was
to cut that
where
part
the
out
hell
or
was
not, Bill.
Holzman? I go all the way.
He was in Vegas.
I didn't go to Long Island. I didn't go to Long Island, but I did go to New Jersey.
I
Close
got
enough.
Bill. I got Bill to come to Jersey for boudin and crawfish, and then Holzman went to Vegas for whatever he does in Vegas.
And speak of that, you can reveal who he's playing in Cape Crusader, but you can't
Yeah.
reveal what he's up to in Vegas.
No,
Yeah.
what stays in Holzman stays with Holzman.
Okay. It's early. I'll give,
All right.
give,
The only thing I've got is batman-on-film.com. I will mention, check out my interview with Michael Uslan
yes.
for Batman 89. And it's not the story of making Batman 89. It is more the story of its legacy as a Batman film and its legacy as a comic book movie.
Would you
In
say
general.
Batman 89 has cultural impact?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all I need.
How much? How much do you
Absolutely.
like talking to Uslan?
Quite a bit.
It's just like
Quite a
sit
bit.
there and just drink it in.
What if I
as
say
he's
every
talking.
time, Ryan? I always say I learned something
Yeah.
every time I talk to Michael about Batman,
Mine.
about the comics, comic business, movie business. Yeah, I
Uslan,
mean,
Night of the Stalker 89. That's
Yeah.
my biggest Uslan
Mhm.
like
that's another good one.
ding.
You got
that I never
the
thought of
Batman
before,
Book
and
Club when
that's right.
he came on and talked about Night of the Stalker. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, check it out. I mean, it's been 35 years. We know the story for the most part. If you're a Batman fan,
Yeah.
Batman and film fan, the story of the 10-year struggle
Journey.
to get Batman journey to get Batman made. And I really, looking back now at 35 years, what is its legacy? I mean, I think it's still the most important Batman film to date, and it's
Agreed.
it could be maybe the most important or the second most important comic book film. Probably Superman, Superman the movie, 78. It's got to be top of the list. So I'll let you know what Michael. I asked Michael that question, and I'll let you. You got to listen to find out his answer to that, because I would agree with it. All right. So with that, he's going to pull some boudin out of his pocket and give it and start eating it. And announcer Rachel will finish up here.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jet's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jet and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.
Say goodbye, Graceland.